He worked harder than anyone, but he was heading in the wrong direction the entire time. In a mountain region where travelers needed guides to cross dangerous paths, two young men decided to become professional guides. Both trained hard. Both learned the terrain. Both wanted to build successful careers. But 30 years later, one owned a thriving guide business while the other was still broke and exhausted. The difference wasn't effort. It was direction. The first guide's name was Rafik. On his first day, Rafik picked up a compass from an old merchant. The merchant said it would help him navigate. Rafik trusted it completely. He never questioned it. He never checked if it was accurate. He just followed wherever it pointed. Rafik would wake up early every morning, look at his compass, and start walking in the direction it showed. He worked 12-hour days. He climbed steep mountains. He crossed difficult terrain. He pushed through exhaustion. People saw him working and thought, Rafik is so dedicated. He never stops. He's always moving. But here's the problem. Rafik's compass was broken. It didn't point north. It pointed slightly east, just 15 degrees off. Not enough to notice immediately, but enough to completely change where he ended up. Every day, Rafik thought he was heading towards success. He thought his hard work was taking him somewhere valuable, but he was actually walking further away from where he needed to be. Years passed. Rafik kept following his broken compass. He'd take clients on routes that were longer than necessary. He'd end up in areas with fewer opportunities. He'd work twice as hard to get half the results. When people asked why he wasn't more successful despite all his effort, Rafik would say, I'm doing everything right. I'm working hard. I'm following my compass. Success just hasn't come yet. But success wasn't coming because Rafik was heading in the wrong direction. And no amount of hard work fixes that. After 10 years, Rafik was exhausted and barely making money. After 20 years, he was still struggling. After 30 years, he looked back at his life and realized he'd climbed 1,000 mountains, but never reached the destination. Rafik's compass was broken from day one, and he wasted 30 years following it. The second guide's name was Samir. On his first day, Samir also got a compass. But before using it, Samir did something different. He tested it. He compared it to other compasses. He checked it against the stars. He asked experienced guides if his compass was accurate, and he discovered something important. His compass was slightly off. Most people would have ignored a small error. It's close enough, they'd say. But Samir understood that small errors become huge problems over long distances. Samir threw away the broken compass and got an accurate one. Then he planned his routes carefully. He didn't just work hard. He worked in the right direction. Samir studied which routes travelers actually needed. He learned which paths led to the most valuable destinations. He talked to successful guides and asked what made them successful. While Rafik was busy climbing random mountains, Samir was strategically building routes that people actually wanted. While Rafik was exhausting himself going nowhere, Samir was efficiently heading exactly where he needed to be. After 5 years, Samir had built a solid reputation. After 10 years, he had regular clients and steady income. After 15 years, he trained other guides and built a business. After 30 years, Samir was wealthy and respected while Rafiq was still lost in the mountains. One day, exhausted and broken, Rafiq ran into Samir at a village. Rafiq was carrying heavy equipment, heading out for another grueling journey. Samir was relaxed, managing his team from a comfortable position. Rafiq stopped and said, "I don't understand. I worked just as hard as you. Maybe harder. I followed my compass every single day. Why are you successful and I'm still struggling?" Samir looked at him with sadness and said, "Because your compass was broken, and you never checked." Rafiq didn't understand. Samir explained, "You worked incredibly hard. Nobody can question your effort, but you were heading in the wrong direction from the start. Hard work doesn't matter if you're walking the wrong path. I spent time checking my compass before I trusted it. I spent time learning the right direction before I started walking. You just started moving and hoped effort would be enough. It wasn't." Here's the truth about careers that destroys most people. Working hard in the wrong direction is worse than not working at all. You can hustle 16 hours a day. You can sacrifice everything. You can push yourself to exhaustion. But if you're on the wrong path, all that effort takes you further from where you want to be. Rafiq represents most people. They pick a career path without really checking if it leads where they want to go. They follow advice from people who don't have the results they want. They trust outdated strategies that no longer work. Then they work incredibly hard on that wrong path and wonder why success never comes. They blame luck. They blame the economy. They blame everything except the broken compass they've been following. Samir represents people who actually build successful careers. They don't just work hard. They check their direction first. They ask, "Is this path actually taking me where I want to go?" They test their strategies. They learn from people who have the results they want. They're willing to throw away a broken compass and find an accurate one, even if it delays their start. Think about your own career. Are you working hard, or are you working hard in the right direction? Those are two completely different things. Maybe you're building skills nobody values. Maybe you're in an industry that's dying. Maybe you're following advice from people who haven't succeeded themselves. Maybe your compass is broken and you don't even know it. The most dangerous compasses are the ones that are only slightly off. If your compass pointed completely backward, you'd notice immediately. But 15 degrees off, you might follow it for years before realizing you're lost. That's why so many people wake up at 40 or 50 and realize they've been climbing the wrong mountain their entire life. They worked hard. They were dedicated, but their compass was broken from the start. The solution isn't to work harder. It's to stop and check your direction. Is the path you're on actually leading where you want to go? Are the skills you're building actually valuable? Are you following people who have what you want? If not, throw away the broken compass. Find an accurate one, even if it means starting over. Because 30 more years on the wrong path won't suddenly make it the right path. Rafiq worked harder than Samir, but Samir worked smarter. Rafiq followed a broken compass for 30 years. Samir checked his compass before trusting it. One ended up lost. The other ended up exactly where he wanted to be. Stop following broken compasses. Check your direction. Watch the next one.